Phenology is the study of periodic biological processes as they happen throughout the year. For instance, when do the flowers first bloom in the spring? When do the trees get their leaves, and when do they lose them in the fall? So that's phenology, which is the study of the timing of periodic biological processes. We've developed an interface called Sonophenology, which sonifies phenology data using a tangible interface. So what's a tangible interface? Well, that's something that you can get your hands on and touch. And this map here is a map of Japan, and underlying that is a GIS-enabled database that contains this data set of phenology data for the lilac blooming from 2000 to 2009. So there's a whole bunch of data points under there that we can sonify. And this map has fiducial markers on it. So this one here at the top orients the map, and we can place other fiducial markers on the map that'll sonify a data range. So let's sonify a range just of a very few years from 2000 to 2002. And it'll sonify the data within this bounding box here, within this bounding box bounded by these two rectangles. And you can hear just one note playing. The way that we've chosen to sonify this data is to represent each year by a distinct pitch on a pentatonic scale, so that low notes correspond to earlier years, like the lowest note is 2000, and the higher notes correspond to higher years, so 2009 is the highest note. So if you were to hear, if all the lilacs were to bloom on the same day, each year you'd hear a big chord of all the notes. If on the other hand, due to climate change or other processes, flowers were blooming earlier in later years, so things were getting warmer, you'd hear a descending glissando of notes. So right now we're just hearing one note, and we can expand that by rotating this fiducial marker to get a larger date range. So the angle between these two markers, so this one is pointing up at 2000 and this one is pointing up at 2009, that'll mean that it'll sonify all the data in this bounding box in the date range between 2000 and 2009. And so you can hear that sonification of the data. And sonification is very interesting. Usually you're used to seeing data, so visualizing data, but sonifying data by making sound out of data, we can use different aspects of our brain to understand data. So it's really interesting to combine visualization and sonification. There's a whole bunch of other very interesting, exciting phenology databases that are coming online that are being enabled through crowdsourcing. So this interface then could be used to sonify all those different kinds of data sets. Important things about this interface is that it's tangible, so you can really get your hands on and interact with it. So unlike a number of other sonifications where you just generate a score like a composition, this allows the users to interact with the data, move these markers around, find different date ranges, and show different types of data and explore data ranges. This is for a paper for the International Conference on Auditory Display, or ICAD 2010. Thank you very much.